I was working nights back then, long shifts, dead hours, nothing but machines humming and time crawling. 6 months at the factory, running production lines while normal people slept. The kind of work that hollows you out but pays the bills. Triple the regular rate after midnight, which is why I took it in the first place. Money was tight, the mortgage underwater, and Lauren kept complaining about wanting to renovate the kitchen. Always something with her. The fluorescent lights on the factory floor gave everything a sickly green tint. Made everyone look half dead, which is exactly how I felt most nights. By 4 in the morning, my brain would fog over, muscles aching from standing in the same position for hours. But I did it. Night after night. For us. For the future she said she wanted. My wife said she'd stay at her sister's place while I was out, said she couldn't sleep with me coming and going at those hours. Made sense, right? Safer. Quieter. Her sister Jenna lived in one of those gated communities with security patrols. Lauren claimed she felt better there while I was working. I bought it. Christ, I even encouraged it. Thought I was being a good husband. You'll sleep better there, I told her. I don't want you alone in the house at night. She'd kiss me goodbye when I left for work, that little smile on her face. I'll miss you, she'd say. I believed her. Fucking idiot that I was. The night it happened started like any other. I punched in at 8, took my spot on line 3, nodded to the same faces I saw every night. Rodriguez, Michaels, that new kid who never stopped talking about his girlfriend. I tuned them out, focused on the job, watching the clock drag. But then one of the main hydraulic lines burst around midnight, spraying fluid all over the floor. Supervisor shut us down, said maintenance would need at least 8 hours to fix it. Go home, he told us. We'll call when it's running again. So there I was, suddenly free on a Tuesday night, technically Wednesday morning by then. Close to 2 a.m. I thought about hitting the bar where some of the guys were headed, but something pulled me home instead. Maybe I was just tired. Maybe some part of me already knew. I pulled into the driveway and saw the living room light on. That was the first red flag. Lauren never left lights on, she was obsessive about the electric bill. The second flag was the unfamiliar sedan parked a little ways down the street. Black Audi. Nice car. Not the kind you see much in our neighborhood. I killed the engine but left the keys in the ignition. Something cold settled in my stomach as I approached the house. I stepped in slow, didn't make a sound. 15 years installing flooring meant I knew every creaky board in that house. I moved silent as a ghost through the entryway, following the sound of low voices and laughter. And when I looked into the room, I froze. She was there. My wife. Sitting on the couch in her robe. That silky blue one I'd bought her last Christmas. Wrapped up in some guy's arms like he was her goddamn husband. They weren't even hiding. Laughing. Kissing. His hand was inside her robe, and she was making those little sounds. The same sounds I thought were just for me. I recognized him. That was the worst part. David. Her boss at the real estate office. The one she'd talked about for months. The one who was such a mentor to her. The one who was happily married with kids. Apparently not happy enough. I stood there for a second, and then something in me snapped so hard I thought my chest would split open. It wasn't just anger. It was like watching 15 years of my life turn to ash right in front of me. Every anniversary dinner. Every birthday. Every fucking promise we'd made to each other. Gone. Incinerated. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I just pointed to the door and told them both to get the hell out. Mark, Lauren's face went white when she saw me. She clutched her robe closed, but it was too late for modesty. Way too fucking late. The guy panicked, grabbed his shirt from the floor, stumbled like a roach when the lights come on. He wouldn't look at me, just kept his eyes down, fumbling with his clothes. Coward. Mark, please. Lauren stood up, reached for me. This isn't. Don't, I said, my voice so calm it surprised even me. Don't say another fucking word. She tried to talk anyway, tried to feed me some trash about how it was a mistake, how it wasn't what it looked like. The same bullshit lines from every movie about cheating ever made. But this wasn't a movie. This was my living room. My wife. My life being shredded right in front of me. How long? I asked. She shook her head, tears starting. Always could cry on command, Lauren. Great for getting out of speeding tickets. It doesn't matter, Mark. It was stupid. I was lonely. How long? David was edging toward the door, half-dressed, keys jingling in his hand. 8 months, he mumbled, not meeting my eyes. 8 months. While I worked nights. While I thought she was at her sister's. 8 months of them laughing at me. Using my house. My bed, probably. I told her to shut up and get out. Pointed to the door again. Both of you. Now. Mark, please, we can talk about this. Now. She flinched. Good. I wanted her to be scared. Wanted her to feel a fraction of what was tearing through me. But throwing her out? That wasn't enough. Not by a long shot. I needed her to feel it. Not just lose me, I wanted her to lose everything she thought she was playing me for. After they left, her sobbing, him practically running to his car, I sat in the dark living room for a long time. Hours maybe. The sun was coming up when I finally moved. That's when the plan started forming. Cold. Calculated. Complete. First thing I did was cancel every shared card, froze the accounts, left her with just enough cash to maybe buy gas or a motel for the night. Called the bank as soon as they opened. The account manager knew me, I'd been banking there since before Lauren and I got married. I need to separate my finances, I told him. Immediately. Everything okay, Mark? He asked. No, I said. But it will be. Then I went through our shared drive, found pics, chats, dumb little videos she recorded like some teenage idiot in heat. The evidence was all there. She wasn't even careful. Messages going back months. Plans to meet. Explicit photos. Videos I'll never be able to scrub from my brain. Her and David. Planning their little rendezvous around my work schedule. Laughing about how I had no idea. How I was working so hard while they played house in my home. Backed it all up. Triple copies. Cloud storage. External drive. Printed the worst of it and locked it in my glove compartment. Let her try to deny it now. My phone kept buzzing. Texts. Calls. Her begging me to talk. To let her explain. I turned it off. Instead, I showered. Shaved. Put on clean clothes. Ate breakfast standing at the kitchen counter. Methodical. Controlled. Then I got in my truck and drove over to her sister's place, where she claimed she'd been sleeping every night. Jenna's husband Carl answered the door, looking confused. Mark? What are you doing here? Lauren's not. I know, I said. Can I come in? Sat down with her sister, showed her everything. The texts. The pictures. The calendar with all the nights Lauren said she was staying there marked in red. Turns out even she didn't know. Jenna's face went from confused to shocked to furious in about 10 seconds flat. That bitch, she whispered, staring at her phone where I'd sent her the evidence. She used me as her alibi. All those nights she said she was working late and then coming here. She was pissed. Told me she'd confront her herself. Good. One less job for me. I'm sorry, Mark, she said as I was leaving. I had no idea. Not your fault, I told her. But I could see the wheels turning in her head. Jenna and Lauren had always been competitive. This was the ultimate betrayal between sisters, and Jenna wasn't the forgiving type. Perfect. Then I found the guy. Wasn't hard. His social media was public, pictures of his perfect family plastered all over it. His perfect fiancée with her perfect smile and her perfect engagement ring. 4 months until the wedding, according to her countdown posts. Poor woman had no idea the man she was planning to marry was fucking my wife in my house while I worked nights to pay the mortgage. I tracked her down, sent her the whole package, said, better now than after the wedding, right? Included all the evidence. Dates. Times. Pictures. No room for him to wiggle out of it. No way to claim it was a misunderstanding. She called me an hour later, sobbing so hard I could barely understand her. Are you sure? She kept asking. Are you absolutely sure? I walked in on them, I said. In my living room. Yes, I'm sure. She thanked me. Actually thanked me for destroying her world. Said she'd rather know now than find out after the wedding. After they had kids. I almost felt sorry for her. Almost. Final step. I called David's boss. The managing broker at the firm. A guy I'd met at the company Christmas party last year, where Lauren had introduced us. Where David had shaken my hand and laughed at my jokes and stood with his arm around his fiancée while my wife stood beside me. There's something you should know about David, I told him. Explained how he'd been having an affair with my wife. How they'd been meeting during business hours. Using company time to screw around. How unprofessional it was for a manager to be involved with his subordinate. He said he'd look into it. 2 days later, Lauren called, screaming that I'd gotten her fired. That I'd ruined everything. That David was suspended pending an ethics investigation. Good. Let them both burn. 2 weeks later, she was unemployed, homeless. I'd already called the landlord of her sister's old apartment where she'd been staying, mentioned the noise complaints and suspicious activity I'd heard about, dumped by David, who was trying desperately to save his relationship, and every bridge she ever thought she had. Torched. Her parents called me, wanted to know both sides of the story. I sent them the evidence too. Her father, old school Catholic that he was, told her not to come home until she'd made it right with God. Whatever the hell that meant. Her mother cried on the phone to me for an hour. She tried texting me once more, you didn't have to destroy my life. I just stared at the message and laughed. I didn't destroy anything. She lit the match. I just made sure the fire reached everything she built on lies. The divorce was quick. She didn't contest it. Couldn't afford a lawyer anyway. I got the house. The car. Most of our savings. She got what she deserved, nothing. I still work nights sometimes. The overtime helps. The house feels emptier now, but cleaner somehow. Like I fumigated it. Got rid of an infestation I didn't even know was there. Sometimes I think about her, wonder where she ended up. If she and David found their way back to each other after the dust settled. Then I remember the look on her face when I caught them. The naked shock. The realization that her carefully constructed house of cards was about to come crashing down. And I smile. She thought she could play me for a fool. Thought I'd cry and beg her to stay, or maybe just slink away with my tail between my legs. She thought wrong. I didn't just walk away. I burned it all down. And from the ashes, I built something new. Something stronger. Something that was just for me. The funny thing about betrayal? You never see it coming. But once it's there, staring you in the face, you have a choice. Collapse or calculate. I chose to calculate. And my math was fucking perfect.